She arrived at the gala with a trash bag. What was revealed next changed lives forever. Sarah stepped into the Maplewood Country Club, her heart pounding louder than the jazz band filling the air with swing. The twinkling chandeliers threw light on elegant gowns and diamond-studded necks, a dazzling world far removed from her own. She clutched a trash bag to her side. Odd, she knew, but it held treasures that shimmered brighter than those jewels. What the heck is she doing here? She heard a voice murmur nearby. The whispers swirled around her like a cold breeze, but Sarah stood tall, ignoring the stares. Inside, the grand hall cast a spell with its lavish decor. Each table was adorned with white linens and golden plates, but all Sarah could think about were the two faces she hoped to see light up amid this sea of opulence. Lily and Max had worked hard on their creations, colorful pieces made from recycled materials, embodying the warmth of their little family. As she made her way deeper into this unfamiliar terrain, she reminded herself she was there for them and for her. Sarah? A sharp voice cut through the laughter. It was Emily, her sister, dressed to perfection. The disdain in her eyes felt like ice. I can't believe you'd bring that thing. Sarah's cheeks flushed, a mix of embarrassment and defiance. It felt like a punch to the gut. She opened her mouth to respond but held back, swallowing her pride. The energy in the room shifted when a sudden tug at the trash bag caught her off guard. Before she knew it, it tore open, artwork spilling out like autumn leaves scattered by the wind. Bright colors burst forth, displaying the love and laughter of countless afternoons spent at home. Gasps echoed in the hall, eyes widened in disbelief, and for a moment, everything froze. It was as if the air had thickened, the laughter dying down as the attendees gawked at the unexpected spectacle. They were silent witnesses to this beautifully chaotic mess, a raw display of Sarah's dedication to her children. But in that moment of shock and awe, the room transformed into a battleground where memories fought to be heard. Why do you insist on living like this? Emily spat, her eyes blazing. The heat of their childhood memories ignited as they confronted all the fractured pieces of their past. Don't you want more? The frustration poured out as tension crackled between them. It was not just about the trash bag, it was about two lives that had grown so far apart, each lost within their own choices. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the words hung in the air, Emily's voice dripped with bitterness, a weighty accusation tearing through Sarah. Why don't you just try to make something of yourself instead of hiding behind that trash bag? The room seemed to hold its breath, a sea of disbelief washing over the faces around them. An uneasy silence pressed down as the tension thickened, emotions swirling in the wake of the confrontation, heart racing. Sarah stood rooted, the feelings of hope and despair coiling within her. Could her sister ever understand the beauty blooming amidst her struggles? Or was it too late to rebuild what once connected them? The eyes of the community lingered on the sisters as they weighed the complexities of identity, family, and the true meaning of success. As Emily stormed away, Sarah's world felt like it was crumbling. Could she still rise from the remnants of this extraordinary night? Would they ever find their way back to each other? The questions lingered in the air as both sisters stood alone in a crowded room, the echoes of love and resentment intertwining in a fragile dance of hope. The tension was palpable as the crowd tried to process what had just happened. Whispers buzzed around the room like bees, stinging Sarah's ears. She felt exposed like a raw nerve laid bare. The laughter and chatter had melted into a muffled hum, the rhythmic swing music almost mocking her plight. With her heart pounding like a drum, Sarah began to gather the scattered pieces of artwork, each one holding a memory of her kids. There was the unicorn made from yogurt containers, the vibrant flower pots painted with joy, and the butterfly crafted from old magazines. These were more than recyclables, they were tokens of resilience and love, stitched together with care. Yet all she could think about was Emily's words, echoing in her mind like an unwanted refrain. Wanting more? Didn't she know what it took to make those small wonders? Did Emily really think it was that easy to leave behind the hustle of a home filled with unconditional love? Sarah? A familiar, warm voice broke through her fog of thoughts. It was Max, his small face lit up with excitement. He rushed over, his shirt stained from a recent paint project. Look! I showed Lily how to make those paper flowers. Did you see them? In that moment, her heart softened. She looked down at the wide eyes of her son. Here was a boy who didn't care about the fancy gala or the criticism from outsiders. All he wanted was to share the beauty of their world with others. She felt a flicker of pride. I did. They're amazing, buddy. As they talked, something shifted in the room. A few guests started to lean forward, curiosity overtaking judgment. No longer just observers, they leaned into the display that encapsulated Sarah's and her children's passion. Maybe a middle-aged woman with silver hair approached cautiously. You could show us how to make some of these? I think my granddaughter would love it. The ice of embarrassment began to crack, and Sarah's heart lifted a little. Maybe this night didn't have to end in shame. Maybe there was room for grace and connection amid the chaos. Emily's voice, still cutting, rang in the background. Sarah felt that familiar sting again. She knew they were worlds apart, but perhaps she could carve out some ground for understanding, for healing. Her voice was soft but steady when she turned toward Emily, standing nearby, arms crossed defiantly. It's not about hiding, Emily. It's about creating something beautiful from what we have. Emily's expression wavered, confusion mingling with her anger. But how can you be happy like this? Don't you want more for yourself? More, yes, Sarah said, meeting her sister's gaze unwaveringly. But I don't have to chase someone else's idea of success. My happiness is here. It's in these moments. Silence wrapped around them like a blanket, the crowd now noticeably hushed. Could Emily see it? Did she understand the beauty in Sarah's messy, challenging life? The questioning hung in the air, heavy and charged. Just as it looked like there might be a breakthrough, Sarah's attention was drawn to the entrance. The club's doors swung open, sweeping in a gust of cool autumn air that sent a ripple through the crowd. And then, there was Lily, her daughter, dressed in colorful attire that mirrored the creations scattered across the floor. Lily scanned the room with eager eyes searching for her mother, for affirmation. The unspoken connection between Sarah and her children glimmered brightly beneath the surface. Mom! Lily called out, her voice vibrant, full of life. She ran to them, her enthusiasm a beacon illuminating the dimmed spirits of the gala. At that moment, Sarah felt something shift within her. Could it be that amidst judgment and division, this chaotic mess was an opportunity for something more? A union of acceptance, perhaps? As Lily reached her, Sarah grabbed her hand, intertwining their fingers as she turned back to Emily, determination shining in her eyes. It's time we talked, just the three of us. What would unfold between them? Would this be the moment of truth or another lost chance? The air thickened, heavy with anticipation as everyone held their breath, their hearts tuned to this fragile, momentous intersection of family and love. Lily's bright eyes sparkled under the dim lights of the gala, and for a splitting second, the world around Sarah blurred. It was as if time froze, leaving only the sound of Lily's heart beating against her side, sturdy and alive. As much as the evening had turned, her little girl was a balm to the chaos swirling in Sarah's heart. Did you see all the things we made, Mom? Lily asked, bubbling with excitement. You should have seen their faces when Max showed them how to do the flowers. The warmth in Lily's voice melted away the last shards of Sarah's uncertainty. I did, sweetheart. They were so beautiful, just like you. A small crowd had gathered, drawn by the infectious joy radiating from Lily, and Sarah felt her shoulders loosen a bit. The guests began to murmur, leaning closer to witness the creative wonder her children had conjured. Maybe the night could transform into something more than embarrassment and shame. "Would you like to help me show everyone how to make a flower, Lily?" Sarah asked, already envisioning the blossoming of not only paper but connections among all the guests. Lily grinned, a bright smile that could light the darkest room. "Can we teach them the origami crane too? The one you taught me?" "Absolutely." Sarah's heart swelled as she ushered her daughter into action. She kneeled down beside her, demonstrating the folds and creases that brought the paper flower to life. Together, they created a mini workshop, with interested guests gathering around, each of them discovering the unexpected joys in the process of creation. "Wow!" a young man exclaimed, cocking his head to admire their handiwork. "I had no idea it could be this simple and fun." Max jumped in, eagerness bursting from him as he handed out strips of paper, encouraging others to join in. "Here, you try. And then you can show someone else." A ripple of laughter broke out, and Sarah felt the tension in the room dissolve. The weight of judgment seemed to thaw under the warmth of shared creativity. Smiles spread across faces, transforming the gala into a community of souls weaving their unique threads of art together, but through it all, Sarah's gaze kept drifting back to Emily, who stood apart, arms still crossed, an expression of unresolved conflict etched into her features. There was a mix of confusion and jealousy, a woman wrestling with her own demons while watching the joy unfold before her. "Emily," Sarah said, taking a bold step toward her sister, sudden courage rising within her. "Why don't you join us? You used to love crafting with the kids." Emily hesitated for just a beat, and the silence stretched. The air was filled with unasked questions. Did she feel inadequate? Were the pressures of her own life suffocating her sense of creativity? "You really think I could?" Emily's voice trembled, just barely above a whisper. "Absolutely," Sarah replied, her heart hammering in her chest, grateful for the opportunity to bridge the divide between them. "Here, we're just making something from nothing. No competition. Just connection. It's beautiful, isn't it?" The slightest flicker of hope crossed Emily's face. With a deep breath, she uncrossed her arms and took a tentative step forward. "Okay, let me try." As she approached, so did the warmth of shared vulnerability, a moment suspended in time where all that mattered was the art between them. Could this signal a new beginning, an understanding that bypassed their lifelong grievances? As the evening surged with laughter and bonding, one last question clung heavily in the air: would this small act of creation spark a deeper yearning for harmony among sisters who had weathered the storms of life alone for too long? With all eyes on them, the three of them, Sarah, Emily, and Lily, stood poised with paper in hand. Could they transcend what had divided them for so long? Or would the barriers rise once more just as the spirit of connection began to unfurl? The answer hung within reach as they all took their first steps together, but could their hearts catch up with the hope that beckoned before them? As the delicate rustle of paper filled the air, Emily picked up a vibrant sheet and fumbled at the corners, her fingers trembling slightly. Surrounded by their shared creations, she felt an unfamiliar flutter in her chest. The gathering buzzed with excitement, yet her heart drummed a different melody, one of uncertainty. Lily, ever the spark of joy, beamed up at her aunt. "Just fold it like this," she called with boundless enthusiasm, demonstrating the crease efficiently. Sarah watched the exchange, her own heart lifting slightly, hoping for more than just a paper flower. Okay, I'll try," Emily muttered, her cheeks flushed. She folded cautiously, her brows crinkled in concentration. The laughter around her became a soothing backdrop, and slowly, the barriers she had so carefully constructed began to crumble. "It's not perfect yet," she said, teasing herself as she laughed nervously. Max skipped over, a wide grin masking any remnants of their past sibling rivalry. "That looks awesome, Em. I'll show you how to make it even better." His eyes shined with encouragement, bursting with brotherly affection. As they worked side by side, Emily felt the walls around her heart begin to splinter. Each fold symbolized a shared moment, a mending of wounds she hadn't realized were so deep. "You really think it looks good?" she asked, her voice almost timid. Sarah stepped closer, her heart swelling with love for her sister. "It's beautiful, just like you," she replied softly. There it was, the flicker of connection they had long sought. Around them, the crowd had transformed into an eclectic tapestry of laughter, chatter, and creativity. The sight of other guests engrossed in crafting fostered a warmth that enveloped Sarah's heart. This had become a sanctuary, a safe space for discovery and joy. Then, to Sarah's surprise, the gala host, a renowned local artist, approached the trio. "What a wonderful initiative you have here!" she exclaimed, eyes shimmering with admiration. "Such creativity lost in this polished gala, and yet here you are reminding us of the beauty in art and togetherness." Lily beamed proudly, catching her mother's eye. They were creating something far more significant than paper flowers. They were nurturing relationships, healing bonds that had seemed irretrievable, but just as Sarah reveled in the moment, she caught a glimpse of Emily's expression. It was one of conflict, nostalgia flooding her gaze. I can't do this," she murmured, shocking everyone with the sudden wave of vulnerability. "Every time I get close to feeling connected, I ruin it." The room fell silent. Sarah's heart sank. Had things truly shifted only to unravel at the seams? "No, Em." Lily chimed in, her innocent voice echoing through the air. "You're doing it right now. We're all here. It's okay." In that instant, Emily's defenses crumbled further. "It feels too good to be true," she whispered, her eyes shimmering with tears. Was this newfound connection truly possible? "Yes, it is," Sarah asserted, stepping closer, reaching out to take Emily's hand. "We can do this together. We can rebuild. We just have to keep trying." Hope ignited within Sarah. Could they allow their hearts to embrace this opportunity for love and forgiveness? As they stood there, the air charged with emotion, a rustle broke out in the crowd. From the corner, an unexpected figure approached, a woman carrying a trash bag filled to the brim with art supplies. All eyes turned to her, curiosity tinged with anticipation. What could this mean? Sarah wondered, glancing at Emily. Would this stranger's unexpected arrival further complicate their fragile moment of connection, or could it hold a key to their transformation? The woman smiled widely, a glint of excitement in her eyes. "I brought gifts to share," she began. The unexpected reunion was still unfolding, and Sarah felt the stirrings of something greater. What could become of this surprising development? The atmosphere crackled with possibilities. They stood on the edge of something profound, and Sarah could hardly breathe as new questions danced in her mind. Would this encounter weave a different kind of magic into their gathering, sparking the possibility of real transformation for them all? The woman grinned as she reached into the trash bag, pulling out colorful rolls of paper, stacks of paints, and brushes gleaming under the soft gala lights. "I thought everyone could use a little inspiration," she said, her voice warm and inviting. Her energy was contagious, and the crowd around her started to lean in, intrigued. Lily jumped up and down. "Look, Aunt Emily. Look at all the colors. We can make so much more." Her enthusiasm broke the tension, and Emily felt her heart lift a fraction as she watched her niece's eyes twinkle with excitement. "Wow," Max said, taking a few steps closer. "This is like everything we need." He reached out to grab a handful of bright markers, holding them up like treasures. "Let us create a masterpiece." Sarah felt a surge of hope, the air around them shifting from doubt to possibility. "Maybe we can all work together," she suggested, eyes darting between her sister and the stranger. There was something about the woman's vibrant spirit that felt instantly embracing, as if she had come to breathe life into the gathering. Emily swallowed hard. Could she really let herself join in? Just then, the woman noticed her hesitation and stepped closer, her gaze steady and encouraging. Art is about exploration, finding pieces of yourself in every stroke and fold. You're already doing that, you know. Look at the folds you made earlier. With that simple encouragement, Emily felt a warmth spread inside her. The walls she had built around her heart felt a little less imposing. The thought of creating with her family, of weaving together new memories, started to feel exciting rather than scary. Max was already at her side, offering her the markers. Come on, Em. It's like there are no rules. Let us just see what happens. Taking a deep breath, Emily reached for a vibrant red marker, testing it against a scrap of paper. Okay, let us do this, she whispered to herself, and then laughed at the absurdity of her nerves. One by one, her family picked up supplies and converged. Sarah ended up next to Emily, their elbows bumping together as she attempted to paint a sun while Emily doodled colorful petals. Laughter flowed easily, turning tentative moments into sweet bursts of creativity. Around them, people began to join in. Their initial shyness transformed into enthusiasm, vibrant artwork sprawled across tables, their imaginations finally let loose. It was a whirlwind of creativity, with voices intertwining in a joyful symphony. But amid the laughter, Emily's mind danced with a whirlwind of doubts. Could she remain open, or would she shut down again when things felt too good? Every vibrant stroke felt like a gamble, every laugh a fragile note she feared would shatter. Across the room, the artist-host watched, a knowing smile playing on her lips. She approached Emily and leaned down, her voice low and nearly conspiratorial. Art doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be genuine, just like the connections you're starting to build. Give yourself the grace to be imperfect. You're doing great. Emily looked up, meeting the artist's gaze, a flicker of understanding passing between them. The warmth of the moment was undeniable, and for the first time, Emily felt a shift within herself. A glimmer of hope took root. As they continued to create, something beautiful started to unfold, a tapestry not just of shapes and colors but of hearts connecting, mending. Yet, just as Emily began to embrace the beauty of this moment, the woman with the trash bag suddenly raised her arms, drawing everyone's attention back to her. And now, for the grand reveal. I brought something unexpected. Emily's heart raced. What was it? What could this reveal mean for them all? The crowd held its breath, intrigued and eager, but beneath her excitement, a sense of unease flickered within Emily. Could they really keep this fragile connection alive? What twists awaited them as they plunged deeper into this shared experience? The woman took a dramatic pause, scanning the faces around her. Emily's heart was a steady drum in her chest, anticipation pooling in her stomach. What could possibly come next, she thought. With a flourish, the woman reached back into the depths of the trash bag. After a moment, she pulled out a long, shimmering ribbon that seemed to catch the light, twisting through the air like magic. The crowd gasped, eyes wide with expectation. It was beautiful, unexpected, a touch of mystery to accompany the growing warmth in the room. Today, we're not just making art. We're making connections. She motioned for everyone to come closer, her enthusiasm igniting a spark among them. This ribbon symbolizes the ties we share, the bonds we build, and the art of our lives. Lily bounced on her toes, her hands clasped in excitement. Can we tie it around our artwork? She squealed. Yes. The woman declared, nodding encouragingly. Let us share our stories. Each piece of ribbon will represent a story or a memory, woven onto our creations as part of this grand tapestry. The idea resonated like a heartbeat among the group. Emily felt the energy shift, wrapping around her like a vibrant blanket. Her earlier doubts felt distant, almost silly now. This was about more than paint and paper, it was about their lives, their collective history and dreams, all tied together in unprecedented ways. Max handed a piece of the ribbon to Emily, his eyes shining. You should go first, Aunt Emily. What's your story? She hesitated, her mind racing. What could she share that would feel significant, worthy of this moment? The weight of expectation pressed on her. But through the laughter and colors, she realized it wasn't about perfection, it was about honesty. So she took a deep breath and spoke from her heart. I used to think I was just being practical, keeping my art hidden away because I was afraid. But art isn't just a product, it's a process, a road I've only just begun to travel. As she talked, she began to intertwine her piece of ribbon into the petals she'd drawn, watching the colors meld, each fold a reminder of what she had begun to uncover about herself. The vulnerability of her words knocked down the final walls she'd built. Looking around, she saw her family nodding, reflecting their own stories in their paintings. Then it was Sarah's turn. With tears shining in her eyes, she shared her battle against feeling lost in the crowd, how she yearned for their family to bond like this, to break down barriers. She pulled a bright piece of blue ribbon and wove it through her son, a symbol of hope bursting forth. Max laughed as he recounted how art had always made him feel free, the joy pouring out of him as he helped others express themselves. He wrapped his story around his vibrant scribbles, the colors screaming with life. As the stories flowed, the atmosphere thickened with shared vulnerability. Fascinated whispers filled the air, everyone becoming part of something greater. Each ribbon that danced through their collective artwork became a thread of intimacy, tangling traditions, fears, and victories together. But amid the joy, an unexpected tension pulled at Emily. What next? She wondered. Would this feeling of connection hold once the celebrations were over? Would it fade like the colors on the paper? The woman observing all this seemed to sense her restlessness. It's not just in the moment, Emily. It's in the commitment to nurture these relationships. Her words sunk in, profound yet daunting. Suddenly, someone exclaimed, "Wait! What's happening with that big canvas in the corner?" The crowd's attention shifted, curiosity buzzing like a live wire. A giant, blank canvas had been pushed into the spotlight. Emily felt her heart hammering as she realized it was meant for everyone to contribute. Could they really create something together? What would come of it? As the first brush dipped in, turning the untouched surface into a collaborative journey, the question hung in the air: could they sustain this newfound bond, or would the vulnerability prove too much? Emily held her breath, brimming with fascination and doubt. What awaited them as they stepped into this shared creative territory? The canvas loomed large, white and inviting, as if it could soak up their stories and weave them into something vibrant and alive. Emily watched the first brush stroke glide across its surface, a simple yellow sun that seemed to shine just a bit brighter under the combination of eager hands and hopeful hearts. Lily was the first to jump in. She dipped her tiny fingers into a pot of blue paint, then clapped her hands together, laughing with delight at the splashes it created. "It looks like the ocean," she exclaimed. Max joined her, creating waves, his enthusiasm infectious. Soon, other family members moved closer, each taking turns contributing their unique strokes, colors mixing and blending, laughter mingling with the excitement in the air. Emily couldn't help but smile, feeling warmth radiate from within the group as they shared this moment, but amidst the joy, a knot twisted in her stomach. The thrill of collaboration was alive, yet Emily struggled with the weight of vulnerability. Would her contributions matter? Would any of them? She took a step back, letting the vibrant chaos unfold, wondering if she had anything else worthy to add. Then Sarah, noticing Emily's hesitation, stepped beside her. "Hey, want to try something?" she asked softly. "What do you have in mind?" Emily replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "Let us do something together." "Just you and me," Sarah suggested. Her eyes were filled with sincerity and a spark of mischief, inviting Emily into a space that felt safer amidst the collective energy. Emily felt the tension ease. "Okay. What should we create?" Together, they mixed colors, their hands moving as one. Emily swirled together greens and browns while Sarah added splashes of vibrant orange to represent life and warmth. With each stroke, they wove their thoughts into the creation, a bouquet to symbolize their relationship, the love intertwined, the shades of hope threaded through their days together. "This reminds me of the times we spent in the garden," Sarah shared, her voice carrying a weight of history. "All those moments we laughed, cried, and shared our secrets." "Yes." Emily laughed, recalling mornings filled with dirt-streaked hands and giddy excitement over sprouts reaching skyward. "And how we always thought the bugs were plotting against us." As they painted, they both let go of the fears that once held them back. The breath of creation surrounded them, lifting away insecurities. With every brush stroke that solidified their connection, it felt like they were shaking off the past, one color at a time, but then came a ripple of silence, drawing Emily's attention. Everyone had stopped momentarily, watching a proposal unfold. In the center, a family member held up a sketch of what could become the final piece, an enormous tree, rooted deeply, branches spread wide, filled with their stories and memories entwined. "Let us pour everything we have into this tree," someone shouted, the urgency in their voice sparking a new rhythm of excitement. "It'll represent us, the beauty, the struggles. Everything." The group erupted into a whirlwind of energy and determination. Each person's voice melded into a single chorus of teamwork, blending colors and memories. Emily felt the echoes of laughter and vulnerability surround her, anchoring her to this moment. As she added her brushstroke to the tree's trunk, she knew she wouldn't hold back anymore. The fear of stepping out had morphed into the joy of lifting her family higher, intertwining their stories together. Wasn't that what matters in the end? The bonds they formed through art, as fragile and wild as a painted sunflower, but with the excitement building, uncertainty began to creep back in. Were they truly ready to confront what lay beneath the surface of their creation? Could they nurture this connection once their hands ceased painting? As the colors mixed, a sound broke through the joy, a crack of thunder outside, a foreshadowing of storms yet to come. Emily glanced at the windows, shadows dancing with tension against the backdrop of swirling paint. What if we aren't prepared for what this tree might reveal? She thought. The collective roar of voices swelled around her, yet a quiet fear whispered that sometimes, true transformation came with a price. And this was only the beginning. What changes lay ahead for them when the last brush was set down? Emily felt the tension in the air shift, as though the thunderous sky outside mirrored her own internal storm. Everyone was so caught up in the painting, but that low rumble promised something deeper than mere rain. Emotions lingered, unspoken and raw. She watched as the sounds of laughter blurred with the crack of thunder, creating an unexpected symphony of joy and anxiety. Lily, oblivious to it all, giggled as she flung more blue paint onto the canvas, but the sky darkened and clouds rolled in further. Emily's attention drifted back to the sketch of the tree, now marvelously alive with colors, a reflection of who they were and the journeys they had taken. "Look," Sarah said, leaning closer to Emily. "How do you think we can make the leaves stand out more? Maybe we can use lighter greens mixed with some yellows?" Emily proposed, feeling a spark of inspiration flaring inside her. Just as she dipped her brush, the door creaked open, jolting everyone from their harmony. In walked Aunt Carol, not the one everyone expected, but the one everyone had hoped would show. She carried a large trash bag, and the contrast against the vivid colors enthralling the room was striking. Her arrival was something out of a stormy tale, a twist that none saw coming. "Sorry I'm late," she said, sheepishly. "I brought something special." The room filled with curious gazes. Aunt Carol was known for her quirky antics, yet there was something different about her energy today. She approached the canvas, standing beside the rough sketch of the tree that now seemed to pulse with life. "I thought I'd bring some old memories," she grinned, eyes sparkling with mischief. With a dramatic flourish, she ripped open the trash bag. To everyone's astonishment, it was filled with oddities, snippets of fabric, photographs, and all sorts of treasures. Max leaned in closer, fascinated. "What is all this?" "Pieces of our past," Aunt Carol declared, a gleam in her eye. "I kept these from our family gatherings, and I think they might just be the leaves we need." Gasps filled the room as Carol shared stories behind each item. There was a piece of Grandma's old apron, snippets from family vacations, and fragments of artwork made by past generations. Each item held a story, a memory waiting to be resurrected upon that canvas. Emily felt her heartbeat quicken, sensing the weight of connection under those colorful layers. Maybe we can attach them to the tree, she suggested, excitement tinging her voice. Yes. Everyone chimed in. Laughter began again, a wave washing over the unease, as family members rushed to help. They guided each precious item to different branches, a fusion of new colors painting over old wounds. Each piece seemed to breathe life into their creation, weaving the past with the present, yet, just as Emily began to feel comforted by the unity forming around her, she caught Aunt Carol's eye. There was something else lurking beneath her cheerful exterior, a hint of nostalgia mixed with worries she knew far too well. Maybe we should talk about the stories behind these items? Emily ventured gently, her voice quieter amidst the excitement. Aunt Carol hesitated, looking back at the trash bag filled with ghosts of yesteryears. A veil of uncertainty flickered across her face, hinting at a story that could reshape everything they believed they knew about their family. As Emily scanned the room, the anticipation hovering like the clouds outside felt tangible. Each family member sensed the moment was heavier than the paint or memories already shared. But was everyone truly ready to dive into deeper waters, to face what had long been unsaid? What if we uncover something we're not prepared for? Emily pondered, the brush still held loosely in her palm, and beneath that colorful exterior, the tree awaited its truth. What lay beneath it all? Could a simple gathering evolve into a revelation that forever changed their family? The room hung in a delicate silence, the air thick with expectancy. Emily's words hung like mist, swirling around them. Aunt Carol's gaze flickered, a mix of amusement and hesitation. "You're right, Em," she finally said, her voice steadying as if she were finding her balance. "These items are just pieces of fabric and paper, but they hold a lot of emotion." "Each one has a story," Sarah agreed, her enthusiasm reigniting. "Stories are what connect us, aren't they?" Emily nodded, her heart racing as she thought of what Aunt Carol might reveal. Her mind raced with old memories that felt too raw to explore, family arguments, lost connections, and unspoken dreams. Would this be the day they unearthed the truth beneath it all? "Let us start with the apron," Aunt Carol suggested, pulling the faded fabric from the pile. "This belonged to Grandma. She wore it every time she made her famous apple pie." She sighed, the warmth of nostalgia washing over her features. "That recipe was a secret, but—" Her voice trailed off, the laughter of memories tinged with sadness. "What? What was the secret?" Max prodded, leaning closer, his curiosity sparking the air. "It was never written down," Aunt Carol continued, a smile breaking through her somberness. "Whenever she made it, she added a pinch of something we could never quite figure out. Only her heart knew the true ingredient." The family laughed, but underneath the levity was something deeper, a longing for connection to a matriarch whose spirit still lingered in the corners of the room. "Let us add this to the tree," Lily chirped, reaching for the apron. Carefully, she draped it over one of the branches, her little hands adjusting it with a tenderness that brought more smiles. "All right, what's next?" Aunt Carol asked, the spark of storytelling returning. She rummaged through the bag again, pulling out a frayed photo of a young couple on a beach. "This was taken at our first family vacation in Cape Cod, before many of you were even born." A collective sigh floated through the room as they peered at the sun-drenched smiles captured in time. Emily felt warmth spreading within her, an urge to reach for those moments and freeze them in place. "That was the summer of '95, Emily's mom chimed in, her voice thick with emotion. "Your father and I were just starting our life together. We had no idea what lay ahead." Their laughter rang out, but it lingered like an echo of years gone by. Emily watched her mom's face, where love clashed with the edges of hard memories, times of hope mixed with heartache. It felt heavy yet comforting, a bond they could all relate to. Aunt Carol shifted her weight, glancing at Emily with a knowing look. "There's something else in this bag you all might not know about," she said quietly, lowering her voice. The excitement began to evaporate, replaced instead with a thickening tension. "What is it?" Emily asked, her heart pounding. Aunt Carol reached deeper, pulling out a small velvet box. It was old and worn, its surface faded under the patina of time. She placed it gingerly on the table. "This belonged to your great-grandfather. It's something I've kept hidden for years." The atmosphere shifted, rippling with unease and curiosity. "What's inside?" Max questioned eagerly, leaning forward. Aunt Carol hesitated again, swallowing hard. "This could change everything you think you know about our family." Emily felt a shiver go down her spine. What secrets lay within that box? The atmosphere was electric as they all leaned closer, awaiting the family's next revelation, the next twist in their ever-evolving story. As Aunt Carol opened the box, the lights in the room flickered ominously, and the sound of thunder rolled again outside, mirroring the storm brewing within their collective minds. What would they find, and would they be ready for the truth? The answer loomed like clouds heavy with rain, and the room waited, breathless for whatever storm lay ahead. The box creaked open, revealing a collection of items wrapped in tissue paper, glimmering softly under the dim lights. The room fell silent, every curious gaze focused intently on Aunt Carol. There lay a delicate locket, an engraved ring, and faded letters tied together with twine. Each piece seemed to pulse with history, begging to be touched, to be understood. "Each of these holds a story," Aunt Carol began, her voice trembling with the weight of the moment. "Your great-grandfather carried them through hardships and triumphs. He was a man who believed that family is the greatest treasure of all." As she gently lifted the locket, the memories started flooding back. "This locket," she said softly, "was a gift for your great-grandmother. Inside it are pictures of their children, our family, bound together by love." Lily's eyes sparkled with wonder. "Can we see?" Aunt Carol nodded, a smile breaking through her serious demeanor. As she opened the locket, gasps filled the room, each person peering in to see the cherished faces. Each snapshot connected them to a past that thrived through their shared lineage, the essence of their family embodied in those tiny portraits. But the sweetness didn't last long. Emily felt a knot tighten in her chest as the reality of her family's history weighed heavy upon her. They were not just connected by joys, but also by the struggles that had shaped them. Would they be brave enough to embrace it all, light and shadow alike? Then Aunt Carol continued to the stack of letters. "These are love letters he wrote during the war. Each word was steeped in longing to return home to his family, to us." She lightly touched the yellowed paper, nostalgia glimmering in her eyes. "Let us read one." Max exclaimed, his excitement infectious and the tension surrounding Emily dissipating slightly. Aunt Carol selected a letter, unfolded it, and began to read aloud. "My dearest Margaret, my heart is forever tied to you. Each moment without your arms feels like a lifetime." With every word, the room buzzed with emotion. The story of pain, separation, and love reached into their hearts, binding them together in an understanding deeper than words. After Aunt Carol finished reading, they sat in reflective silence, the echoes of the past mingling with their own thoughts. Emily's eyes were wide with realization. This is why we're here," she murmured. "To weave our own stories, to remember that no matter how far apart we drift, we have each other to come back to." Moved by her sister's insight, Sarah reached for Aunt Carol's hand. "You've brought us all together, Carol. Each piece speaks to our journey. Thank you for sharing this." As the energy in the room shifted, Emily felt an exhilarating surge of connection. The letters, the locket, even the old ring seemed to weave around her heart a reminder that they must cherish all parts of their story, even the remnants of hurt. With newfound eagerness, Emily took a brush in hand and approached the canvas. "Let us add the locket to the tree," she said confidently. "It needs to hold every piece of our history." One by one, family members rallied around the canvas, drawing the locket into their masterpiece. Each brushstroke transformed the canvas into a vibrant tapestry, a family tree flowing with love, resilience, and shared stories, capturing not just the past but the present and future as well. With laughter now mingling freely, Max shouted, "Let us add more leaves. Each of us can write our wishes or dreams on them." The siblings nodded, diving back into their artistic frenzy. Family members began to scribble words on leaves made with colored paper, hopes of renewal, healing, and connection. As laughter flowed and brushes danced across the canvas, Emily glanced at Aunt Carol. Had they truly overcome years of unspoken tension in just this fleeting night? Or was this merely a momentary reprieve in a longer battle for acceptance and understanding? Just then, the lights flickered again, and a sharp clap of thunder rolled through the room, causing them all to pause. It was a reminder that amidst their happiness, storms could still come rolling in. Are we ready for the storms? Emily thought, her heart racing. Would they rise above, or would the winds of doubt tear their fragile bond asunder? The woman with the vibrant spirit and trash bag stepped forward, smiling. Remember, storms can also clear the air. Think of tonight like that everyone's story, a step towards healing. The positive energy swept through the room. With hearts open and walls coming down, they dove deeper into their creativity, a renewed spirit binding them. The canvas stood as a testament to their love, laughter, and resilience, welcoming whatever the future would bring. Amid the swirling colors, they felt a deeper understanding unfurl between them, a promise that they were in this together. In that moment, as the last leaves were added, Emily resolved to embrace every part of herself, how every struggle shaped her joy and hope. The bonds of family could survive and thrive through anything, and they would hold tight, stepping into tomorrow with hearts aligned. The storm outside began to ease, just like the shuffling of fears within the room, allowing the glimmers of hope and healing to shine clearly. And as everyone stepped back to admire their creation, a living testament of resilience, growth, and love, Emily understood that transformation was not merely found in moments like these, but through a commitment to nurture the relationships that mattered most. With hands intertwined, they stood together, watching as the canvas glimmered in the dim light. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them as one family, united and stronger than ever. If you felt inspired by the power of family, connection, and creativity in this story, you need to subscribe now to catch our next exclusive journey. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and support more meaningful tales. Comment below your reactions. What did this transformation mean to you? Don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see the power of resilience. Let us spread love and connection together.